Welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie, and we are working on the Explore album. At least that's the title I gave it. We're using the Moonchild collection from Prima Marketing, and today we are on fin number 3. If you enjoy today's video, be sure and give me a thumbs up. That really helps the channel out and helps out the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. I'm gonna have a final cut list in the description box. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions, anything along those lines, hit me up in the comments section below the video. And with that, let's get into the cuts that I've made for this page. We're on page number 9. And in this video, we're gonna do pages 9 through 12. Now, because page number 8 has got all this going on, page number 9 is going to have a pretty simple facing element, whatever the center element that faces this is going to be pretty simple because I don't want anything to get caught. In the Christmas album, I had quite a few struggles with some elements that kept getting caught on each other every time you go to open and close the book. So I want to avoid that with this album. The base for this page is 6.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. On the 6.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. This page is going to have a flap that comes over the top. The measurements for the flap are 5 inches wide by 6.25 inches tall. And we're going to score this flap at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. So it's going to give us a 3/4 inch gusset. We're going to mat the gussets with these pieces here. These are 4 3/4 inches wide by about 1/8 inch. Or actually, I think it's like more like 3/16 inch wide. And the mat for the flap itself, we've got 2 of those. They are 4 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. And the one that's going to go on the inside, I'm actually going to put some photo corners on that. I'm going to put these photo corners on it. And I'll link to the die if I can find it. And these are made with this die set. I don't remember the name of the die set, but that's the Spellbinder's product number. And then under the flap, we're going to have a waterfall. The dimensions of the waterfall, they're going to be 4 inches squared. And one of the 4-inch sides we're going to score at 1/2 inch so that the overall footprint is 3.5 inches by 4. And we're going to mat each of those with one of these. This is 1/2 inch tall by 4 inches wide. And then the page underneath, the base page, the mat for that is 5 3/4 inches squared. So let's go ahead. We're going to start by scoring everything. And then we'll add the flap to the base, get everything matted, add the waterfall, get that matted, and then we should be on to the next couple of pages. I think I forgot to mention the paperweights. So the flap is 65-pound cardstock, and all the waterfall pieces are 65-pound cardstock. The base page is 110-pound cardstock. Making sure nothing got glued together here, because that does happen. We had a little bit of glue leakage there. That's all fixed. Okay, so let's get started on pages 10 and 11. Since these are the interior of the fin, we're going to keep it pretty flat. What we're going to do for these two is we're going to do some double matting and add a photo mat. These are 3x4 photo mats. These are kind of an eggshell white. They're not white. The dimensions for the mats, the purple ones are 5 3/4 and squared, and these two are 5.5 inches squared. So and the base page for 11 and 12 is 10 3/4 inches wide, and we're going to score that at 1/2 inch, 6.5 inches, and 6 3/4 inches. We're going to have a bit that flips. Actually, I think we're going to flip it out to the left. I'm not real sure. It's going to flip out in one direction, and actually this is going to be really kind of complicated, because on the 3-inch mark, we're on the 6-inch side, we're going to slice it down to the 6.5 inch score mark. So it's going to be 2 doors, and then the whole thing is going to be held together with a shaker element. So that's going to be fun. But right now we're working on pages 10 and 11. To page 12, and before we dig into the actual page, I want to put together the piece that I think is going to frustrate me the most, and that is the shaker element. What I've got here is a couple pieces that I've already die cut. You need 2 circle dies. Let me get the measurements for the dies. Okay, you're going to need 1 circle die that measures about, I think this is just over a 2-inch die. And then you're going to need one that is about an 1 3/4 inches. So I used the larger die to cut these 2 pieces, and then I've nested the smaller die within the larger one to cut this piece. We're going to glue the acetate to the back of this piece. Then we're going to put foam tape around the inside. We're going to have to be really careful and cut it really thin, and probably have to fight with it to get it to go on in a circle. Then we'll add the shaker elements and attach the back. while the glue is drying on that piece, we can start on some of the rest of this page. And what we're going to do, let me go through the cuts and the mats. So this piece is going to become a flap on, I think this is going to end up on the inside of the page. And the dimensions are 2 3/4 inches wide, scored at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch by 6 inches tall. And we're going to end up mounting a 1 inch wide piece. It's 1 inch wide by 7 inches tall. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 6.5 inches. And the shaker element is going to slide onto this, and it's going to be kind of a slider band. We'll slide it back and forth to open and close the other side of the album. On the other side of the album, we're going to have 2 flaps, kind of like Dutch door flaps. One on top, one on the bottom. And when they open up, they're going to have these pieces inside them, and they are 4 1/4 inches wide, and we're going to score that at 1/2 inch by 3 inches tall. There are actually a total of 6 of these, and yes, 6 of these, and we'll have 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. On the base page, we're going to have 3 photo mats, and their dimensions are 3 inches wide by 2 inches tall, and we're going to alternate their orientation. So we'll have one at portrait, one at landscape, and then another one at portrait. Then on the left side, we're just going to have a blank space that we can use as a photo mat or a journaling spot, whatever we want to do with that. So let's go over the mat dimensions, and I've got all these mat papers just all over the place. So we've got some gusset mats. These are all 1/8 inch wide. These are 5 3/4 inch tall, and there's 2 of those. There are a total of 4 of these at 1/8 inch wide and 2 3/4 inches tall. And this is the mat for the bottom of the Dutch door. So there's the top of the Dutch door. And on the left, that's going to be the inside, I think. And I think that is the outside. So this will be the mat for the left, and the dimensions on this one are 1 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall, and there's 2 of those. These are 3 3/4 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches tall. These are the mats for the Dutch doors. And then these are the mats that are going to go on these photo mats, and they are 3 inches wide by, or 3 inches tall by 1/2 inch wide. And then we also have the gusset mats, which we'll put on at the very end. And those dimensions are 3/8 inch by 5 3/4. And we have, I think, a total of 3 of these. All right, let's get started. We're going to add the this flap. This is 110 pounds, and we're going to cut the Dutch door on over here. See, I scored it at the 3 inch mark. That was the reason why. So we're going to cut that open and go ahead and attach this, and then start matting, and hopefully the shaker element, the glue on that, will dry pretty soon. I glued some of the areas where there was a gap in the foam tape just to keep the shaker elements from flying out of the shaker. plan except for the whole I did this upside down part. So if you're going to do this page, don't do it upside down. But yeah, that went together pretty much exactly as I expected it to. And this is the closure mechanism right here. Just slides up and down. And in this position, it's pretty much closed. You could always add tags or something in there to help even secure it a little bit better. But you slide that this direction and you can get to all of that. And then if you've got that open, you slide it up that direction. Now you can get to all of the photo mats. If you enjoyed that video, be sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Come back next week. We're going to finish up fin number 4.